Hello, this is Beverly from scrapandthread.blogspot.com. I wanted to show you today how I made all of these ornaments and gift toppers. I started out with plain white daisy or colonial white cardstock, and I used either some stamps for the ones that have color to them, or I just went straight to the Cricut to make the cuts for the various ornaments. So some of these were made with the Artiste, the brand new Artiste collection from Close to My Heart in conjunction with Cricut, and some of the others were made with the Art Philosophy cartridge. This one is white, and then this is the Moonstruck blue. It's not ink, it is a blue cardstock. And so some of those you saw had more of a filigree or a lace cut to them, but these others were all made with various stamps that correspond with specific cuts with the with one of those cartridges. And the things with the thing about the cuts is that the carrier sheets with the stamps on them tell you exactly the size that you want to cut them, so that you can get the right exact same size that you'll need for that particular stamp if you want to have one with some color. And then here's an example. I put two different ones together to make this gift topper in lieu of a bow, so it's sort of like a bow. And then I used just a little piece of the burlap ribbon that's on here. I folded it in and put another little bow on top, and I have some of the hemp, little pieces of hemp in there. So let me show you what I'm working with so I can explain the process as I go along. This happens to be a fall set, where some of the other ones were just sort of generic doilies. But what I did on some of them was, if it was a leaf, I cut off the stem because I didn't need that. So the one that I'm going to show you today is this shape right here, and it happens to be in the Art Philosophy cartridge. It is on page 59, and it's the Petal 2 with the shift. And I cut 15 of those at 2 inches. And so this is what that looks like when it's cut. And I'm doing this on bamboo paper. I was hoping it might show up a little bit better. But anyway, so this is 15 right here. So you still have quite a bit of paper left over. And then you will just take it and you'll stamp your image with whatever color you want to use, or you could use more than one color. And I think I'm going to use cranberry. The other ones that I had done that I just had shown were New England Ivy, Ruby, Desert Sand, Ponderosa Pine, and Olive was the other green. So with these, after you've cut out your shape, I'll put the little foam under here so you can see. After you've cut out your shapes, you'll stamp each one of them, and depending on, as I said, what shape you're doing, you may want color, or you may want to just fold it if it's the more of a lace filigree. So you'll ink up your stamp, and I just put a bunch of re-inker in my pad so it's pretty juicy, and I don't want to have it kind of ooze out all over there. And then you line it up on your shape, and you'll do that if you have a double layered one. So for instance, this one, there's 15 on the bottom layer, 15 on the next layer, and 15 on the next layer of corresponding sizes. So then you'll just make sure you've got your stamped image. I'm going to set that aside. And then I use the Martha Stewart scoreboard, but you could use if you have a cutter with your bone folder, you can just lay it in the blade area where the orange cutter, like a Fiskars cutter, goes, and you could use that for scoring. There's the Score Pal's another one. And then I'll put that here so you can see. I usually score from the back side, and there's a couple of reasons. One is I'm not distracted by the ink, and if it's off just a little bit, then I'm not distracted, but with trying to get it lined up with the middle of the stamped image, I really want to score it in the middle of the actual cut shape. So that's part of it. And the other thing is when you're folding it, it's a lot of times it's easier if you have scored from the back to fold it to the front. So you score straight down the middle, and then you'll fold it in so that your shapes are going to be like this. And so you're going to have you need 3 for each little spoke. So now what you need to do once you have them all stamped and scored and folded is that you're going to make your individual units. You'll end up with 5 units, and each one has 3 pieces to it. So you'll take one of your shapes, and I'm using the Bonding Memories glue. You just put glue on both sides of the score line, and then you'll put one of your shapes on one side folded down and the other one on the other side of that score line, so that on this side you'll see that you have it's open here, and then you'll have the stamped side on there, the stamped side there, and then on the back will be the other stamp side. And this actually turns out to be the top when you glue it down to make your spokes, so that it looks like that. So then the next step is to decide what kind of shape or what size of shape you need for your spokes. I use circles or other shapes that were cut from the Cricut, and it depended on the size of my spokes as far as what size shape that I wanted. On the one with the gift, because I was using 2 different shapes, I used quite a large circle, and then I alternated the different shapes on there. So this was quite a large one, but most of them I used either about 1 inch or maybe 1.5 inches or 2 inches at the biggest. So I'm going to use just this little red shape here, and then all you do, and this is really just very subjective as far as how much space you want in between them. The closer you have your designs together, the less you will see of the bottom part. If you put them all the way out here, more like a flower, then you would obviously see more of that central part. So I am going to put this just about in the middle, pointing in, and this is an odd number. So it won't be, you can't make them be directly across from each other, otherwise it won't, well, you could, but it won't be as aesthetically even. It won't be as even as it might otherwise be. So then you're going to glue down the side that doesn't have any stamping on it, and that will go right on your little circle or whatever your shape is that you're gluing that to. And then, because it does have a fold in there, you may have to hold it for just a little bit as it sets up a bit. The good thing is that you could probably, you can move it around just a little bit as it is drying. On the circle, on the base part, a lot of times I was using, especially for the big shapes, I was using the liquid glass because that holds really well. The Bonding Memories is fine, but and I hadn't had any problems with it, but I just know that the liquid glass makes it really stick really strongly. So that's how you put that together. And then in the center, on the one that I had made with the Colonial White cardstock, I just put a little opaque adhesive pearl. These are self-sticks on the back, and I put a piece of ribbon. On some of the other ones I used buttons. This came from the Bohemian assortment, and then I stuck one of the little sparkle gems on top of that. This burlap one, I just took a piece of the burlap ribbon and glued it to a piece, several pieces of cardstock that I'd cut into circles and glued those all together. I think I have 3 or 4 pieces of cardstock underneath this with the burlap to support the weight of that. And I used some of the gems. This came from the boutique assortment of embellishments. And let's see if I had anything else in here. You could use buttons, you can use ribbons. On this one it was more of an ornament, so I put the gemstone at the bottom. I used some fibers to hang this from. I put another gemstone up at the top, and then that's what kind of gave it that extra little bit of bling in there. Anyway, if you have any questions, please leave me a comment or visit my blog. It's scrapandthread.blogspot.com. Have a great day. Thanks so much for joining me. Take care. Bye-bye.